This Saturday, I will be live for Misfits 18 in Newcastle, I think, is where they're going to be. This is right off the back of Misfits 17. I will be in Las Vegas for the Canelo Alvarez and Edgar Berlanga fight. I'll probably be doing some content for that as well as UFC 306. It's going to be a crazy day, but I thought before I leave, why not go ahead and get predictions out for this Misfits card to make life a little more easy on me so I'm not clicking around and trying to make videos from a hotel room or an Airbnb. I'll still be doing that. But anyway, let's talk about this card. Listen, it's not one of their big blockbuster cards. It's headlined by Elle Brooke and Jenny Savage. I'm not sure who that is, but I do know Elle Brooke, and she has, for what you want to say about influencer boxing, put herself on the map by knocking down Paige Van Zandt, going through the Kingpin tournament, winning the Misfits belt, and she's now the Misfits middleweight world champion. So a fair point to headline this card, as well as some MMA big names and even an MMA legend on the card, and Benson Henderson versus Chris Avila, the lightweight tournament, and Joey Knight versus Lil Cray Cray. There's a lot of fun fights here. Let's talk about all of what happens. Misfits 18, the breakdown. Let's go. All right, so the first fight on the cards is between Big Tobes versus Kells, and I've learned that Big Tobes sounds like I'm saying Big Toe over and over, and I don't think that you guys want any feet picks from me, so I'll stop doing that. But apparently he fought a couple years ago Ashley Raksu in a fight, so he has some boxing experience. He's had some footage out there, so we'll take just a quick look here. So this is what we're seeing out of Big Tobes right here, and this is before Ashley Raksu really knew what he was doing at all in this scene. So you can see him kind of switching stances, not really understanding what stance he wants to fight in. I don't even know what stance Ashley fights in now. Tobes guy got a nice kind of stabbing right hand there. Definitely head on the center line, chin in the air like he just does not care, and swinging wild bangs here and there. So this is not going to be a super technical fight. I can already see. I mean, that's not a right hand anyone teaches right there. It looks like he's swatting a fly to a degree. He's one half of the opening bout. And then there's this guy, Kells, who I'm still trying to get a read on because I don't know. I mean, why are you sitting in a circle of a window? Not really sure who makes these type of things. How are you able to, is this like a hamster wheel with no wheel? I don't really know. Here he is playing European Football League, which I didn't even know still existed. But that is not good. For somebody that is looking to partake in a fight in a very short amount of time, you do not want to see this level of uncoordination, I would say. Right? Just the jabs, and then the strictly arm punch, no weight behind it, backhand. This guy's probably 250 pounds. But the punch measured is probably like a 20 or 30 pound punch because he has no ability to get his lower body into anything regarding a punch there. So I think I've seen pretty much what I need to out of this right here. I'm going to take Tobes however he wants in this fight. I just think he's going to be, I mean, he's already fought. He has experience. This Kells guy is muscle bound. He's going to be gassing in probably the first round, if not the first minute of the first round. I don't even know how many minutes are in each round or how many rounds they're going, but I think Tobes wins however he wants to do it. But then we have the next fight on the kickoff, Nikki Rue versus Carla J. Excuse me, for the Misfits white. That's racist. The Misfits lightweight world title. Listen, I don't know. I've seen Carla fight once. I've seen Nikki fight once. I don't want to pick against my girl Carla just because, you know what I'm saying, Carla, you know what it is. No, I'm playing. Carla's nice. I've talked to her a couple times. Bare Knuckle FC, shout out. And Nikki's also super nice, and, you know, who knows? I think that Nikki will probably find a way to win this. I'm not sure how. Again, it's probably very short rounds, but I'm gonna go with Nikki just based off the fact that when I saw her fight last, she probably looked a little better. Then we have Ashley Raksu taking on Tristan Ham. Fun fight. This one's fun. Ashley Raksu has shown he can be in there with a lot of different guys and look very good. He beat King Kenny. He beat OJ Rose, even though a lot of people want to say it was controversial. Maybe it was. He beat Halal Ham. These are all big-time wins for Ashley Raksu. And then Tristan Ham coming off the loss to Le'Veon Bell. It'll be interesting to see because Tristan, I think, is coming down in weight. I think he struggled a little bit with an adrenaline dump in the Le'Veon fight and wasn't able to put the volume I think he wanted to put on Le'Veon in their fight. I don't know. It's just an interesting fight where Ashley is, you know, in this fight, at least with OJ, got walked down and OJ put volume and pressure on him in some moments. Ashley still had his moments, though, and obviously won the fight by staying technical, using his jab. But Tristan hits like a Mack truck. When Ashley gets touched on the chin, you know, I mean, it was early on in his career, but Anthony Taylor put him on the canvas. I want to know what Tristan Ham's mindset is after that Le'Veon loss, because sometimes when you have a loss, it can change who you are as a fighter, make you more nervous, or it can turn you up and make you into a monster. Tristan's working with BJ Flores. We know that BJ has been able to turn some guys into some monsters in this scene, namely Jake Paul. Something's telling me to pick Tristan here, man, and I think it's the power in his hands. But Ashley has won so many fights against guys that were technical, guys that did put pressure on him like OJ did. Maybe not guys that hit as hard as Tristan does. I'll take Ashley Rax too. I've bet against him too many times, man. And Tristan, I still want to see how he recovers from a loss. I think I could be completely wrong on this and that Tristan could come out and starch Ashley, but I'm going to stick with Ashley. Again, just his ability to have some experience in dealing with different styles of fighter. Got to get his head off center line. Tristan throws hammers. The Haminator, as he calls himself, even though Hammer would have been way better. Then we have George Stokey versus W.A.D.E. I'm pretty sure Lewis is the one with the creepy eyes. Let's see if there's any... I mean, dude, do I even need to look for boxing footage of these guys? Okay, there's a little face-off that Fred hosted. Fred's wearing Bass Pro Shop. That man has never caught a fish. What the hell are you wearing Bass Pro Shop for, brother?
Me and dodge me, because Ring Sting's here to stay. Ring Sting's here to dominate. I'm Misfits Jesus.
George, you like the name Ring Sting? Do you like that nickname?
I absolutely fucking hate it. I can't stand it, but if we won't hear it at the end, so it's all the goods.
Yo, he kind of looks like another one of the UK guys. What is the dude? Oh, yeah, he looks just like Cal Freezy, dude. Here's his opponent, George Stokey, I guess. And I actually follow this guy on Twitter because I think he's like a troll account where he like does funny memes of soccer. All right, here he is. Here's George. It says, this was recorded after a 2-hour session as judged by the hair, so excuse the fatigue and low hands, but had to release some footage. Okay. All right. He's punching. A lot of weight on this front foot, my mains. A lot of weight on that front foot. So what happens when we have this big step into range and this lean into range off our back foot as we lose balance, right? Like, if George wants to get away from punches here, there's nowhere to go. He either has to fully fall into range here, or he's going to get stuck with a counter. And again, he's punching as if he has the guy on the other side hurt. That's what this punching would be, where you're chasing a guy down, you have him hurt, you're not worried about what's coming at you. The problem is that looks like the way he punches all the time. Chin is up in the air. Again, it's tough to punch walking forward if you're new to the game, for sure, but you want to step. Anytime this foot goes, this foot's there as well. You don't want to step with one and then slide or drag the other one behind. See that step, and we're still back here, and we're just kind of dragging it behind. Going after it here. This is good, man. This is what we like, you know? Getting some punches in, getting some cardio in. Has no real basis for any sort of punch he's actually going to throw. Of course, he is not going to look great. Neither of them are. But as it sits, one guy's had a fight, one guy hasn't. I think I'm going to take Lewis. Looks like he had a little bit of a reach, too. We spent way too much time on this fight. Let's move on. All right, then you have Joey Knight versus Lil Cray Cray in the Misfits lightweight tournament. This fight is very interesting. Cray Cray was already out of the fight or out of the tournament, and then he was brought back in because someone else couldn't fight, if I remember correctly. Regardless, this is a fun little fight. Joey Knight's my guy. I'm taking Joey here. I'm taking Joey because I think Joey has the most skill, experience, and ability to win this tournament outside of somebody like Yeti Gang. And if I'm missing somebody else, that's probably because I just forgot who's in the tournament. But I think Joey is a favorite to win just by watching some of his fights. And granted, you could say they were against people that weren't the best so far. Like, he had the Most Wanted kid, and then he had Argentinian King, who I didn't think, especially Argentinian King, was a realistic option to win the tournament. But that being said, Lil Cray Cray is already lost and has to come back and earn his spot. And I think that Joey Knight's going to win this, probably in a decision, a very technically sound fight, probably the best fight on the night if we're talking technique and skill for just strictly boxing. So look for a great performance from both guys, but I think that Joey is going to end up taking this fight. Then I don't know which one is going to come first or what, but we'll just say Idris Virgo versus Fez Batista is next. And I didn't even know these two were in the same weight class. I guess they are. Fez is now in the pro tournament after losing to Ben Williams. I don't really know how that works, but you know, Fez has had a lot to say about me after I had nothing but good things to say about him, even though he deluded himself into thinking that I slandered him or said something about. Regardless, listen, there's no hard feelings here, but I am going to say that Idris Virgo, being the Marvel captain that he is and the news breaker, sometimes in his hype videos for Misfits Rump Shaker, I think my GOAT Idris, who I find to be the most entertaining guy in Misfits, is going to win this fight. I mean, one, purely because I'm pretty sure he's way bigger than Fez is, has a lot more experience as a boxer than Fez does, and Fez is coming off a loss to a guy that wasn't as good as Idris Virgo. So I'm not exactly sure how 2 + 2 = 4 here as far as the matchmaking is concerned, but hey, fair play for Fez getting in there and doing it. I just think Idris is a better fighter at a higher weight, more skill, more experience, more pretty much everything than Fez here. So I'm taking Idris Virgo. Next, we go to Chris Avila versus Benson Henderson. This is an awesome fight for multiple reasons. One, I did not know Benson Henderson had any interest in boxing, let alone influencer / it's crossover boxing. Chris Avila, fair play to Misfits for swallowing their pride, which is hard for them to do, and letting Chris back onto the card when he flipped him the double bird, said it was a clown show, and said Misfits on their actual broadcast. But Chris and Benson Henderson, I assume these pro tournament fights are going to be 6 rounds. I assume. I forgot from what the other fights were, but let's say it's 6, maybe 5. I don't know. I think Chris Avila is gonna beat up on Benson Henderson in a boxing ring. I just have never seen Benson strictly box. I've seen him throw jabs to the knee in MMA, and I've seen him fight with a toothpick in his mouth and all this other type of stuff. But Avila has shown that he's got a propensity for boxing, especially when it comes to other MMA guys, that he is normally going to be better than you are. And he's been doing this more recently, doing it more actively, and he's got a style that's really hard to prepare for, even as a strict boxer. And also as an MMA fighter, he's very much pressure forward, low on the power side of things, but heavy on the volume side. I think Chris Avila will get this done by probably decision, but at the end of the day, I think he's probably going to be in the finals of this pro tournament with Idris Virgo. And then we go to Julie Pkwy versus Crystal Pittman. Who is Crystal Pittman? She is getting what we'll call teed off on in this fight that she was in. This is how long ago? 6 months ago? And good God almighty, her face is a crater like the moon, dude. This girl can definitely fight, but boxing's a different animal. Julie Pkwy does sometimes rely on being a lot bigger than some of the other girls, like Elle Brooke when they fought. But she also beat Barbie, which was the bigger girl in that fight. So yeah, I mean, listen, fun fight. I'm gonna stick with the champ, Julie Pkwy. Right? She's had a little bit more, I think, strict boxing in the last year or so than bare knuckle. And they are 2 different sports. Not to say that Julie's such a high-level boxer that it doesn't matter or whatever. No, this is still going to be competitive. And this Crystal Pittman girl can still fucking throw hands. She can still box. So it'll be an impressive win if Julie's able to do it. Next, we go to the main event, though. Elle Brooke versus Jenny Savage. And again, I don't know who Jenny Savage is. That's not a good thing for your main event. No offense to anybody, but I cover this scene, or at least have, for a good period of time, and I'm not sure who Jenny Savage is. But it looks like she's a bare-knuckle boxer. Oh, yeah. We got hands on display, son. Okay. Oh, left-handed. Another interesting little wrinkle here. She's a southpaw, right? Those gloves look freaking massive on her. But this is a nice little wrinkle. Something that outside of Julie, Elle hasn't seen, a southpaw. Let's take a look at this. We touch them up. And boom goes the dynamite. Okay. Strong left hand across the temple. And that girl waved it off. She said, I want no mas. Now again, bare knuckle is unique in the fact that these kind of shots can put someone down because of the sheer amount of force behind a bare knuckle to your temple versus the padded glove. That does not mean in any way, shape, or form this girl cannot punch or box. She absolutely can. Tennessee gangster. Is she from Tennessee? Clarksville. Okay. Yeah, listen, I think I'm gonna have to pull for Jenny here, man. I'm sorry. Elle's my girl and everything, but Tennesseans, as everybody knows about me, I bleed orange. And we ride for each other. Pause. Strictly because she's from Tennessee. Do I think she's going to win this fight? I don't know. As a matter of fact, Elle continues to put girls down that are from all these different promotions and everything else. And I'm going to go for Jenny Savage because Tennesseans stick together. And whether I believe she has the ability to win this fight or not, matters not. I'm taking the Tennessean, Jenny Savage, Tennessee gangster, stand up. I'll say a decision. I have no idea. I don't think she can knock Elle out, and I'm just strictly picking her because she's from the state of Tennessee. If anything, honestly, what will probably happen is Elle knocking her out, because bare knuckle girls that come in and don't respect Elle because she doesn't have any power, or they think that, or because she can't box because she's a YouTuber, they think that, and then she sticks a right hand on them and they fucking hit the ground and skid like a stone I skip across the water in the freaking rivers of Tennessee. That is my Misfits 18 breakdown and predictions. How many of these will I get wrong? How many times will the W.A.D.E curse rear its ugly head? I don't have those answers, but tune in 10:30 a.m. PST. I will be live, ready to rock and roll and stream this card for you guys. But as far as who wins, who loses, what happens with Misfits coming up in the future, I don't have those answers, but guess we'll find out.